Hello everyone, the Duke here, and today you're probably wondering what I'm doing outside, also not with my studio microphone, on a 2019 Coleman scooter. Well, today I'm going to be telling you the story of how this came to be and why I have it, because I was originally going to make a review and then like some repair tutorials, but the thing is I wouldn't be able to do either that well, so I decided to make one video just explaining how I got it and what I've done to it. So start with the headlight. No one's behind us. Let's go. Probably about a month ago, I saw this scooter, which is a 2019 Coleman moped, 49 cc's, on Facebook Marketplace for $300. It was about an hour away, and the one thing that they said was wrong with it is that it needed a new battery. It had to be jump start, but aside from that, everything worked. So I get there, and the thing doesn't start. It only cranks. And, the lights work on it, except for the headlight. I'll go into that later. But it just doesn't start. And the guy swears that it's a spark plug issue. It needs a new spark plug, and then it works. So now there's two things wrong with it. It needs a new battery, and it needs a new spark plug. Now, at this point, I should have probably negotiated down a little bit, but I decided not to. And so I got it for $300, willing that those are the two things I need to get. So on the way home, I got a battery from O'Reilly's, which is like $100, and I got a spark plug as well, which is, it's $5. It's very cheap. I put them in the scooter. It's very easy to take the spark plug out.
10 millimeter? Is it the forbidden 10 millimeter?
Here.
In that hole.
But I removed it, put the new spark plug in, put the new battery in, which was kind of a pain.
Screws and pull the battery out.
Well, I would do that if I could grab it.
Because even though this thing didn't come with a floorboard, you have to use basically a pair of like needle nose pliers to pull it out because it's so tight in there. And I hooked it all up, nothing. Doesn't do anything different. It just, you can only hear it crank, no starting. So at this point I'm pretty bummed, but the whole thing was very dirty, so the next thing I went to was the carburetor. And I did a little stuff, and for some friends' help, I looked inside the carburetor's float, and it was bent slightly. So I was like, okay, this is something a little suspicious. The carburetors I looked online are only about $30. I was like, it's probably not going to be worthwhile to try to fix this one. I'm just going to grab a completely new one. And I got it from, I think it's, Motorsports or Monster Motorsports. I probably would have gotten it from Amazon, but I decided to get it there because it was sort of like an approved Coleman, parts thing. It had everything you basically need for it on their site. So a couple weeks later, it came in with my friend Ryan's help. Thank you, Ryan. I got it installed, and I'm gonna go ahead and tell you real quick, if you do take off or replace the carburetor on this thing, it's very easy. It's only 2 bolts that hold the whole thing in, and then you just have to unplug all the hoses. However, and I say however, we did not document where the hoses went. And this made what could have been a 10-minute process extremely difficult. Because now we got to figure out, okay, this is a fuel line, this is an air line, which way do these things go? Now, if we had documented where each of the hoses had went, it would have been a much easier process. Because like I said, there's only 2 bolts that hold this thing in. I can't remember if it's an Allen bit. I think I have video of it, but it's a very, very easy thing to do. So I get the new carburetor on there with the help of Ryan, thank you. And it doesn't crank. Same thing as before. So I'm like, what is going on? So I give it a little bit, and then eventually I get the idea, okay, let's see if we're actually getting spark. Because I replace the spark plug, but there's an ignition coil as well. So what I do is I plug in, or I take out the ignition coil and the spark plug, and I set it against on the outside, because I want to try to look for spark, and I don't see any. I see like 1 spark, but hardly any at all. So I'm like, okay, it might be that the ignition coil is bad. So I go, and I get a new ignition coil off of Amazon, $12. And I put it in, nothing at all. And to replace the ignition coil is very easy. If you see right here, you have like a positive and a negative. Basically, match the ones on the scooter up to this one. I think there's like a green and a black one on the scooter, so I think you just match up to the green and black one on this one. It's a very easy process. and then it's a little screw to mount it. But I put that in, nothing. So I have a new battery in it, which is $100, new spark plug $5, new carburetor $30, and a new ignition coil. So that's around $150 in parts because the ignition coil is like $12, and it's still not running. And I had also tried, putting in fresh gas right from the start, and nothing at all. So I'm mystified at this point. But then I get the idea, okay, what about the oil? Because I checked the oil when I got it, it seemed okay, and who knows? Maybe it needs a new oil change. I don't know how it is on these small engines. So I go to check the oil level, I dry it off, and it doesn't read on the little dipstick. So I'm like, ooh, there might be a bit of an issue here. What I do is I get some Publix oil, like, I can't remember, I think this thing needs SAEW. I'll have it documented. I'll have the whole manual link down below because that really helped. It's online. But I refilled the oil, and I cranked it up, and it came on the first time. So I was like, oh my gosh, it was the oil. The oil all along, because another friend told me that a lot of small motors have a sensor to where if the oil's too low, they just straight up won't crank. So needless to say, I felt really dumb about this, and I was kind of thinking, okay, how much do I really need to replace on this thing? But if I think about it, I mean, aside from the battery, which was $100, which I still think is really expensive, I only put about $50 worth of parts in here, and honestly, that stuff was really dirty, so in hindsight, I don't really feel bad about replacing all of it, because now it's definitely going to last a whole lot longer than the old one would ever have. I eventually decided, I'm going to change out the oil again, because the old oil that was in it was basically pitch black. And also I was going to change out the engine oil filter, and just going to go and tell you to change out the oil on this thing is very easy. All you got to do is, I think it's not a 17 millimeter. I have it documented what kind it is. You basically just unscrew it and then let the oil pull out, and then you fill it in through the oil check dipstick hole, whatever. And then to replace the engine oil filter, which is just a little metal grate, all you gotta do there is there's another spot over here. It has the same exact size as the oil dump hole. I don't know my terms, as you can tell. And basically what you do from there is you unscrew that, and you can take it out. It's got a little spring in it, so be careful. And then from there, you can clean it out. And it actually says just to clean it with soap and water, which is exactly what I did. And there was some crap in there, not too much, but enough to warrant, like, okay, this was definitely not good. So I got a new engine oil filter in there, or cleaned one. And I also, of course, replaced the oil twice just because I wanted to make sure that it had super clean oil. And the thing's been running great ever since. I think I forgot to add, this thing, one of the reasons that I got this as well is because this thing normally is $800. So it was like, okay, $800 scooter, $300 for it, I could probably put in $100 worth of parts, sell it for a profit, and I ended up putting in $150 parts, so I'm still very much under that limit, so I could probably sell it for a profit at this point, although I'm definitely not, because it's just fun. Like right now, I'm just tooling around the neighborhood. It's just fun to do this, and I would not recommend taking it on the road with like other cars. Like if there's a car behind me, I'm either going to pull over or turn off just because I cannot go fast enough to match them. And I'm also not going to take this on any popular roads. Like basically all these roads I'm taking it on, there's no one driving it, and also I'm driving it like at, 2 o'clock, so it's not a very popular time of day. So basically, I mean, speed-wise, you're not going to be taking this everywhere. Like, you can't necessarily take it to the store unless the store is like a mile away. But, I mean, that's not really what it's for. I think it's more of something to just tool around your land with, which, I mean, if you had a big piece of property and you wanted something to, go around and do stuff with, this would be great. Because in addition to this, and this is a really fun hill, I've got to concentrate right here. It basically has a little bitty storage unit right underneath you. I think most scooters have that, which is accessible via the key. And also has a kickstart, which I haven't used yet, but because, it just has an automatic starter, and I'd rather use that anyway. So yeah, it has a low beam and a high beam. The low beam is basically worthless. I don't know why it's on there, but the high beam, it works pretty good. And something about the high beam that's interesting, I don't know if I mentioned this. I feel like I did, but I probably didn't. Is the high beam and low beam only come on when the scooter's on. Because when I was working on, I noticed the high beam and low beam weren't working, and that's when the scooter wasn't working. So I was working on replacing the switch, And the thing is that while I was working on it, that's when we got the scooter running and the lights automatically turned on. So I was like, hold up. I just took apart the switch for absolutely no reason. And then I was like, oh, it hit me. The switch only works when the scooter is on. Otherwise, it's not going to work. And that's why I thought that my switch was broken because, well, the scooter wasn't running before. But now that it is running, the switch is working. So that's a little bit of a note that I explained probably extremely convolutedly. One particular viewer who may be scorning me, I am being careful. Alrighty? I'm being very careful. I got my mirrors, which are rusty. That's kind of annoying that those are all rusted out. The last thing about this is that you notice in the videos when I'm taking it all apart, I've got these plastic covers off. And they're very easy. All you need, I believe it's a 10mm and then a bunch of screwdrivers. It's like a big screwdriver, not necessarily a small one, to take off these plastic pieces. And the one thing you want to know, it's the same thing like with the carburetor. In the rear of this, you have, of course, the main tail light and your blinkers. And what you want to do, when you take it off, you're going to have to unplug those wires, is document which wires go to which, or just take a photo or do something. Because, I mean, the main brake light is very simple. It's one wire to plug in there. However, and I say however, the turn signals, which are right here, very nice. You just press that to reset it. The turn signals are not labeled. So what can happen is you can hook them up wrong, so when you go to put on the right blinker, the left one turns on. Then you go to put on the left one, and nothing turns on. And it's not as imperative as it is like with the carburetor, where you don't want fuel going to where air goes, but it's a very annoying process, because that was the last thing we did when we got this thing all together, is it just took a while to figure out which goes to which, so that way the blinker worked fine. But yeah, I'm very pleased with this thing. I might replace the transmission fluid on it. I think that's the only thing I haven't done. But I've just been having a ball driving it. And oh yeah, here's a little brake fluid reservoir. Isn't that cute? I hope you've enjoyed the video and my boring commentary. And this has been the Duke, signing off.